Greeting my fellow classmates. Today I'm going to talk about sexuality and the age of consent. While living in the US as an international undergraduate, I learned that it's against the law to have a sexual relationship with someone who's beneath 18, and it's considered such a rape. At the same time, while I was traveling in different parts of the world, I found this age of consent differ from one country to another. So I start to question what factors determine the age of consent. Is it biological, psychological, or is it socio-political reasons? So I want to know for sure, although I'm hunching that is the latter. So I start to research, and step by step, let's take the biological side. Initially, when I hear biological, I see that since someone is old, someone is young, the effect of the size. I know it sounds funny, but that's to my understanding. So I start to question. Well, I've seen some young girls, 16 years old, hanging with a basketball player, 17 years old, and there's a huge size difference. Again, it's not a factor. So what's the factor? I mean, if you think about it, the only thing that differs is the mentality. So we have an understanding that it's not the biological, because scientists say that it's normal for human being after a couple years from puberty to engage in sexual relationship, whether it's marriage or consensual relationship. So there's no problem with the sexual relationship. The problem is with the age gap. So I start to look more into that. I start to think, okay, let's talk about the psychological effect. So, what psychological effect will that have on the female? From my understanding, that men are drawn to beauty and youth, and women drawn to maturity and success. In general speaking, of course, every person has his own interest in the other partner, but generally speaking. So the man is mature, surely he's attractive to some kind of females. Others are interested in something else. Some will have a common personality, common understanding. So why we dictate a law that limit people freedom? They say young girls are not as wise or mature. That's not always the case. They are the young ones who have maturity, and they will know what they're doing. And one proof of that is when a teenage below 18 commit a crime, it's up to the judge to send him to the prison with the adults. The justification that he really knows what's going on. So how the effect of his act. So what harm would happen if a female under the age of 18, past puberty, engage in a relationship with consent, and everybody's happy? Is it the psychological? Again, it differs from one couple to another. Someone might argue in the long run there'll be psychological effect, as the different mentality and the mindset, they will have problems. Again, this kind of problem happen in all type of couples. So we go for the socio-political. Well, in most societies, especially in our modern era, they focus about education and participating in the workforce. Females consist of half the world population, and them getting married at a younger age will prevent or reduce the chances of them continuing education and get a job and participate in society. I think that is the main reason. But again, that will also can happen for the young couples. So why dictate a law that prevent love? It seems to be that for some kind of regulation, for example, the pornographic field, they want to prevent the female from being abused by this industry, and therefore dictate that she is under 18, she's under the age of consent, therefore you're not allowed to engage her in this industry. But that could be easily resolved by making a law specifying, similarly to that one of alcohol. So for me, it's a bit funny that a girl is 18 years old, she can participate in a porn movie, but she cannot go to the bar. Something don't add up. Finally, I want to come to the comparison between the old times and nowadays. In the old times, the age was not a big factor. It's up to the couples to sit down and talk and get along and decide if they want to be together or not. Decide if she want to continue education or not, whatever benefit the relationship. And nowadays, I find more and more having problems committing to a relationship, having more problems having families. And this gives us time to think about and reflect. Does the age of consent really benefit society? I leave you to answer. Thank you for watching.